Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another session at today's Insights Tech Showcase. Before I hand it on over to our speaker, I just wanted to give a quick reminder about that Q&A box. If you have any questions, you can drop them there and we'll get to them at the end of the session. But now I'll hand it on over to our speaker.
Hello, everyone. This is Pascal from Caplena. I'd like to talk to you today about AI and agents in Insights. We've recently run a survey with Insights professionals to gather their opinions as well and their insights into the future of how the function will look like and how AI, of course, can help. And no surprise there, a lot of people mentioned AI really at the core. And that's also what, of course, I'll be talking about today, but not just any kind of AI, but more and more what we see also in the trends is that people are really looking at agents more and more closely, not just for customer support or other functions, but as well for discovering insights. And we also believe that this is really where this function is going, that we will be able to spin up agents that really tell or represent the voice of the customer and bring it to everybody. And that's also what I would like to show today. This report, by the way, will be available on our website next week. So for everybody who is interested, get up there. And yeah, what I really wanted to show now is how agents can already now interact with your data that is coming from any source that you might have in your Voice of the Customer program. And today I'm going to illustrate this mostly on the example of online reviews, but it's not just related to that. You can combine multiple sources together, then really making agents shine to discover insights across online reviews, customer success interactions, and also, of course, our beloved surveys. Let me quickly switch here the view such that I can show you a little bit of what I was talking about with a bit more meat behind it and in an interactive way. So we have here our report, which also stakeholders can access to, which we did on here survey was Skytrax reviews. I can of course generate the report nowadays fully automatically, which will already look at all the columns in your data and figure out the most interesting visuals then to show to the stakeholders. I already did this and amended it a little bit to my liking. And what I would like to really highlight here is that we really make our agent front and center and available from everywhere. I'll show a few integrations as a MCP and other channels where you can interact with the agent just in a bit. But first things first, every time I see an agent, I would like to understand, okay, what can I even ask? What should I ask? And of course, I can ask very specific things, very well-defined things. For example, what are the key drivers of the star rating when it comes to what they mention in the review? But also, it also works when I do quite ambiguous queries, and that's one of the key advantages of being an agent. It really will try hard to, even for ambiguous statements, come up with the most relevant answer that is for your context, for you as a user. Let's start here with a simple question that I could ask. Of course, what are the key insights? Very simple. This might take now a few seconds. A sort of a funny comment would be agents are just slow chatbots, but we will see that it's not just by making it more thinking more and interact with more tools. Of course, agents can typically run that in the background and reply to you whenever they're ready, but the quality just compensates for it. It becomes much more like a coworker instead of a really junior person than just burping out the first thing they saw in the data. In our approach to building agents is really, first of all, rooting it deeply in the quantitative data that is collected, and we also quantify the open text in our automated coding. That's done also fully automatically in the background. I'll show a little bit of that later on, but the key thing is really that every individual row is analyzed. It's not just using kind of a retrieval, like a RAG kind of approach that just fetches a few comments which are interesting and related to a certain topic, but really every row is properly analyzed and gives them actually a statistics which I can base my insights on. And with here, give me as key insights, of course, the most important topics in the data, the most important comparisons, which are, for example, that regional airlines perform a bit lower in all the comments, and that I mean, full service airlines even perform much worse, and of course, low cost airlines are really negative in sort of in the rating. Probably not very surprising, but still, of course, a solid basis to work with. Now I know, okay, sort of the netted sentiment here for my low cost airlines means really minus 70% or minus, so really low score. Well, what could we do to improve that? Maybe I'm an insights person at one of those airlines. What can I do? Well, of course, I can ask, well, in which areas are low-cost airlines underperforming? And so you can find me the relevant data for that, draw comparisons and across various dimensions. Here, again, what I'm asking is ambiguous. I mean, it could be related to the open end, but also related to the closed questions. But it will pull both of them together to provide me really with a complete picture of what is in the data. And while that's spinning, again, sort of to highlight maybe what else I can do here is to then go deeper and ask for breakouts, for example, compare different regions, for example, for a certain topic. I can ask it for main drivers and in the end, of course, also for key recommendations, what I should focus on. And here we've seen, okay, we focus now on low cost and where they are underperforming, and it's mostly in the staff interaction, then also in other customer service topics. I can, as mentioned, also ask things that are sort of two-dimensional in a breakout. I can ask, okay, how is beverage selection? That's like a topic in the open ends or something around that. I'm not even sure, but it will find the relevant one across airlines. And then it will find the relevant topic and do a breakout on that without me having to click around in a reporting interface, really giving here the full picture, allowing me then to deep down further. And it's not just based on an ad hoc keyword kind of query that, for example, we see when people are using Microsoft Copilot or another solution where it kind of builds a query that matches an exact word. we really here are looking at the thematic analysis behind it, where these individual responses are fully coded with really human level accuracy using our engine. For example, I could take also a look here at the relevant topic, food and beverage. It even highlights me which areas in the sometimes quite lengthy review is relevant for this particular topic, and even a reason as to also why it designed it to give more transparency to the user, and also maybe how to influence if you want it to work differently. And here we have a top performer, which is EVA Air. I don't know this airline, but it is seemingly performing very well in this area of the drink selection. Actually, even saying 65% of the reviews that are talking about this particular or like come from this airline are positive about the food and beverage. So really raving about this particular topic, something that I might be able to then expand upon, or if I'm a competitor, of course, act upon and formulate recommendations. What I can also do is if I'm people like to use access their tools from one place, and the place you can access our agent is from any messaging app such as Microsoft Teams, Slack, or any MCP powered application. MCP is the Model Context Protocol, the open standard for how agents can interact with each other. And so I could ask here in we use Slack, but it would work with Microsoft Teams as well. What do, for example, respondents about our lounges, and it will automatically find the relevant project if I have access to on Caplena, and would then also render a fully fledged here response, which is a bit less visual, but you get the key insights therein as well. And it allows also users, or if you are in a conversation with the product manager, you say, at Caplena, give me this information, right? They ask, okay, what are they saying about the lounge? And then you can just say, at Caplena, what respondents say about our lounge. And it will pull up here a response and also allow anybody to sort of auto-generate and report in the background, as well then for users to dive in and get also then a nice overview, like if they are more of they want that kind of reporting kind of feel and really dig deeper than in the data. So we nice interaction between a reporting interface and an agent that is always available for any kind of query that you have in your internal channels. And that's, again, available for everyone, even if you don't have a Caplena account. That's, I think, the beauty of these kind of solutions. You can really spread this widely in the organization without creating accounts and whatnot. It's just there, and you can, for any kind of issue where your users or your management wants input on what the customer might think, they can simply ask. What's also can be very interesting is to use agents for deep dives. So imagine we have now, this is general reviews that we've collected. It's very broad. It's about the flight itself, but also about the lounge, about baggage problems. Let's say we want to do a deep dive, and we can create what we call a smart column, which is basically an LLM running again on another analysis in Caplena. You can use that to extract feedback related to a certain area and then do another deep dive on it. For example, we've defined here a prompt to extract feedback related to luggage. And I already ran through that. I can then go ahead and run my topic analysis. I already here have now my topics, of course, related to the baggage. I can ask it to give me more detail topics around baggage, because that's really what I'm interested in here. And I ask it to actually redo based on my updated prompt. And then I will see much more topics related to luggage, baggage, which I'm interested in maybe as a product owner for luggage, or a person who owns this process. And sort of this setup is then done once, and then you can also have that as a column in the data where you can ask the agent then to provide insights upon and use in any kind of analysis on the platform. So really flexible kind of data handling. You can extract specific parts of the feedback and do then really completely separate kind of deep dive on it without interfering with the existing analysis. And as usual, of course, this works in any kind of language, both the agent and the analysis itself. And you can really use it easily to deep dive on specific topics, specific areas, get a general overview, bring, as I mentioned, for example, multiple sources together, but then still do a deep dive on individual sources. For example, if you bring together MPS and online reviews, it's frequently the case that the topics are a little bit different. You might also, again, want a detailed analysis on the MPS. Simply use one of these smart columns to extract the MPS feedback and run separately on it. Okay, here we have now generated a lot more baggage issues topics. And now my deep dive is complete. Once it assigns everything, again, typically with human level quality, in some cases, it can be beneficial to edit some topics as necessary, but we receive very few interactions, or zero or very few already. A really good result that is on par with human level coding. Now I would also have this additional analysis available. So if I'm asking now specifically about lounges, it will understand that that's what I'm mostly curious about. And then maybe I could ask as a final kind of teaser, what are the key performance we could do for lounges. Now I was probably too slow. It already went into read only. Okay, start a new one. And while that's starting up again, sort of just really cool way to interact with your data. You can do so from any interface. Again, even in your GenAI using our MCP integration. Easy to set up, and the advantage is really that it roots itself in this quantitative analysis. It does not simply provide summaries. It really relies on this topic assignment, and thus is also stable. So it will always output kind of the same percentage, no matter how who asks or how you ask. The percentage of flight delay is here 23%, and it will really not make up any fake kind of information. And here we got now the deep dive on the lounges, and here, for example, lounge experience is only slightly positive, and the key improvement areas is communication regarding lounge access, and here again some quantitative output on top of that. With that, I'd like to open the Q&A, and looking forward to your questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and email you over the questions that have come in so that way you can follow up. But with that, thank you so much, Pascal, for joining us, and to our attendees. We'll see you over in the next session. Thanks, everyone.